Vice President Vance says voters have two choices in the midterms: go back to the Biden years of losing money or continue making headway on affordability with Republicans. Roll tape.
If you go back to the Biden administration, the average American lost about $3,000 in take-home pay during the 4 years that Democrats were in charge. In the first year of the Trump administration, average Americans have gained about $1,200. I think that the question we're going to put to the American people is, do you want to give the government back over to the people who frankly burned down the house and made most Americans much less wealthy and much less safe? Or do you want to double down on the president's leadership?
Well, Congressman Mike Lawler, Republican from New York, joins me now. Congressman, you're running for re-election. Will this messaging work for you and the party?
I think the vice president is absolutely correct. When you look at where the economy was under Joe Biden to where it is today, we have made significant progress. That being said, the hole was so deep that Americans are still struggling, and we want to continue to help them with the issue of affordability. And that's why we passed the largest tax cut in American history, which Americans are now filing their taxes. They're starting to see the direct benefit. I can tell you in New York, for instance, because we lifted the cap on SALT, the state and local tax deduction, from $10,000 to $40,000, the average New Yorker is going to see a $4,000 tax cut. And that's despite the fact that Kathy Hochul and Zohran Mamdani are trying to run the state into the ground with tax increases. So we are doing everything we can to bring down the cost of living. The average tank of gasoline now down to under $3 per gallon, first time in 5 years. Mortgage interest rates are coming down, so people are, it's costing them less to service a mortgage, which is critical when it comes to the issue of home ownership. But there's more that needs to be done on healthcare, housing, and energy, and that's why I am focused like a laser beam on all of these issues, and the administration is, on what we can do to improve the economy.
Let's talk about New York City. If the New York's mayor, Zohran Mamdani, does not get his big tax hike on the rich, he proposes a near 10% increase in property taxes. Watch this.
There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. If we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes. We would also be forced to raid our reserves.
Okay, Congressman, if you raise property taxes, wouldn't you be raising rents? Which is exactly what Mamdani says he doesn't want.
Well, this is the problem with socialism, Stuart. Eventually, you run out of other people's money. The fact is that Zohran Mamdani ran on the issue of affordability, and within 2 months, he is already proposing a massive tax hike on everyday New Yorkers. He has proposed raising taxes by $9 billion statewide, and now he's talking about a 9.5% property tax hike, which will cripple home ownership in Queens and Staten Island, and, in particular in Black and brown communities in Southeast Queens. The Queens Borough president railed against this yesterday, saying that it would be devastating, to Southeast Queens. So from my vantage point, when you look at what Zohran Mamdani is proposing, this is precisely the problem. Democrats have no solutions other than to raise taxes and to increase spending. Since Mike Bloomberg left office at the end of 2013, New York City has increased its budget by $40 billion. That's about a 50% increase in spending in New York City. That's on top of New York State increasing its spending by $100 billion. They know never when to stop spending. They just want to continue spending other people's money recklessly and increase taxes. And it's why New York leads the nation in out-migration.
And by the way, the budget, Mamdani's budget, includes $1.2 billion set aside for migrants. I wish we had time to talk about this, but we don't, but maybe another time. Congressman Lawler, thanks very much for being with us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.